Alright guys, so today I have some new beam paints. I liked the other ones quite a bit and wanted to try a few colors. Thankfully I have a shop that's about an hour and a half away that actually carries them. So I popped over there, visited a friend, and picked up some new colors because I really wanted to see what else they had to offer, and they had some that I really liked. So I did pick up some paint stones, which is how they sell their individual colors. These are basically half pans. And then I also have this trio set that you can get. It comes in the nice little wood palette. I believe this looks like river birch. This is pretty cool. Oh, dog, of course, wants to squeak something. My only complaint with this is that my red actually fell out when I got home and broke, so I kind of put it in there as best I can. And then the piece I couldn't get to go back in there and set well ended up, I put it just in a little half pan for now. As I wear it down, then I'll just toss it in there and use it. But I just want to swatch some of these and do some mixing with them, actually, because I feel like these actually can produce some good colors. If you've spoken to me before, you know I don't always like mixing so much. I'll do a video on that. I'm just not a huge fan of having to mix all my colors. I don't always like what I get. So anyway, as usual, I do feel like the beam paints are a little, I guess, slower to activate. Not a bad thing, just something to note. So let's do this strawberry red. This is actually a really pretty color. I really like it. A nice, I mean, just, I would call it a berry red. So that's super nice. I'm actually going to flip on a light here. Right. Now, I will definitely say that this poplar yellow is amazing, and I love everything about it. It is so bright and so brilliant and just wonderful. I would definitely buy another paint stone on this. I believe that these trios, and I could be wrong, but I believe that they aren't quite as big as the paint stones, so the amount you get is a little different. But yeah, the colors in this trio I actually really like. And here's our almost night. Another pretty blue. Today I am using a different swatch paper, and I'll show it to you in a minute. I have a smaller version that still has the cover on it. This is actually a Strathmore paper, which I've tried before and didn't like, but I actually ended up liking these journals a good bit. So I do like the fact that they're spiral bound as well, because it's nice to be able to lay them flat. This gray ultra is pretty opaque. It has a really nice granulation on it, though. This blue gray color, I feel like this would be a really cool one for mountains and like storm clouds. And then this robin's egg, I got a little sloppy when I was writing, but that's okay. This is just a really pretty color too. I mean, honestly, all of their colors are really pretty. So, and when I did my swatches, my like personal swatches that I keep with information on them, a lot of these had a really good salt reaction. This Salish Seas had the most gorgeous salt reaction you could ask for. Maybe we'll show that. So It is just such a pretty, I don't know, Mediterranean green. So, but it's a really nice color. In fact, let's and in a minute I'm gonna mix these two because they made a really, really nice color. All right, this is the pumpkin spice. It is a mica color. And the pumpkin and the pumpkin spice are a little different color-wise, even aside from the mica. I feel like they're not the same. And I did look at the pigment information, but I can't remember which ones they are off the top of my head. So, and I don't know if you can see it over here. Even though this wasn't super wet, the salt's really pulling it up. So this one has a really good salt reaction. Actually, a lot of these did, which was kind of surprising. I didn't expect that out of some of them. And then this is the pumpkin. I got sloppy on that. All right. I want to say this is PY74 PR101, and this is PY74 and PR170, so they are a little different composition wise. All right. Now, Beam has posted videos on this wild salmon color. Y'all, this color is so pretty. So it's kind of a base earthy red, and then it's got this gold mica in it. Okay, seriously, if you don't buy any other Beam paints, you need their mica paints because their payoff is so good on these. So pretty, and just the shimmer on them is fantastic. It does show up a little better when it's dry, so I will show that to you. But it is just such a pretty color. I'm sure my video is not going to do the color justice. And then this is the fireweed. So it is a pink base. And then pinky purple color with some mica in it. This is more of a, I guess, a kind of a silvery mica. Oh yeah, you can really see that pull up. All right, so I want to mix this robin's egg. So I'm just gonna lay this down here and mix like this. Just a skosh of water here, like that. And then I'm going to, I could have done this in a pan or something, but I didn't really want to. So this Salish Seas is definitely one of those that will kind of take over. But oh gosh, it's so pretty. But as you can see, you mix it and you get this beautiful like Mediterranean seas color. It's so lovely. That Salish Seas is definitely like one of my favorites at this point that I've gotten. Just want to add a little more here. So, as always, when you mix, you know how much of each one you mix will change the tone. And the Salish Seas, I think, is a PG7. Yes, PG7. Sorry, I don't want to turn it because it's still got water sitting in it. So I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that is a phthalo green. So we know that it has a pretty high tinting strength. So, you know, balancing that sometimes is a little more difficult. Let me see. So I'm going to slide this here. Maybe. Well, the bad thing about my red breaking is that my water tends to go to the bottom. So, but a lot of you know I am not a huge fan of mixing my own colors for a lot of reasons. I feel like a lot of times when you do it, the colors just aren't very bright. They're just, I don't know, I'm just not a huge fan. I'd rather honestly just buy my colors. It's not that I don't know how, it's just that I don't particularly care for it. But I did test these and really kind of liked the colors that they produced. I was a little surprised because I've not always had that experience. So as you can see, we got a really nice bright kind of orange on that. And I don't like my colors being contaminated. I'm kind of picky about that, I guess. So yes, I am rinsing my brush off. I'm just going to add a little more to yellow to that corner so we can see it, like so. And I'm starting with the yellow because I feel like it's the easiest to kind of mix into. It usually has the lowest tinting strength too. So, not always though, some of them can be kind of strong. So we're going to do that. And then we're going to actually add our blue here. I think we're going to need a little more yellow in that. It's kind of heavy on the blue. Let's see. There we go. That's a little... So one of my big things that I really hate when mixing is purples, because I feel like you just never get a good purple. When I want purple, I want a purple. I don't want a washed out purple. So I just always feel like mixing purples is a lost cause. I'm just not a fan. I've tried, I know all the instructions, I've gotten the same results. They're just not purples I necessarily like or want. So purple is definitely one of those colors that I would just rather buy. But this actually did produce a decent purple. And I did actually really kind of like it. So I feel like we could go hair more blue in here. There we go. Get a little more purple than violet. So, like I said, I feel like this actually produced a good solid purple, and like did a fair bit. So these are the colors that I bought, and I'm gonna pull up the salt here. It's not quite dry, but enough to see. Like I said, even though the swatch was still pretty dry, when I put my salt down, you can see it had a really nice salt reaction. So that's one that if you really want a good green with a salt reaction, that's going to be your green. Let me see. I did use it. So I'm using a bigger version of this. This is the Strathmore Visual Journal. This is 140 pound paper. I believe they do have one that is 90 pound. I haven't tried it, so I can't speak to it, but I actually really do like this 140 pound. The covers on it are pretty sturdy, so it would be good, you know, to take somewhere, and it'll have the support if you're holding it. I like the spiral bound. It is not perforated, so I painted this last night. I don't know if you can see it because I've done stuff over it, but this is part of the Salish green, and you can see it had a really nice strong reaction there to the salt that I tossed in. So it's like I said, it has a very nice salt reaction if you like that kind of thing. Just really pretty. But let's see, let me pull my salt off so I can pick this up. And then let's see if we can get some of this shimmer to show up. So hopefully you guys will be able to see this. The fireweed, well, I guess it is kind of a goldy, it's a, I don't know, it's like a lighter gold. This is kind of a darker, maybe bronzy gold, if that makes sense. Like I said, kind of a red base in this back, and then this is a pinky purple base with that mica in it, and then the pumpkin spice, that orange base with the just kind of in your face gold is really pretty. The Salish Seas and Robin's Egg just makes a really nice color. The strawberry red is super nice. This poplar yellow just really pops. You can see this granulated a little bit. If you get water in it, it really does granulate a fair bit. I really, like I said, I really do like all of these colors that I chose. I'm pretty happy with how they mix too on just that trio. So, you know, if you're somebody that does like to do mixing and you want to maybe start with some bean paints, I believe these are only like $22, and you get the three colors. And of course they come in the cute little wood palette. So that's fun. And I also, let's see here. Where is it? Oh, this shows that I am like never prepared. But I had pre-mixed some of these, so the colors I got are a little different. Like this looks like it's definitely a little more blue on the purple. And then I had also, oh, where is it? So your Salish and Robin's Egg produced this color. Again, you know, similar. This looks like it has a little more Robin's Egg in it. But just like I said, a pretty Mediterranean ocean kind of color. I don't feel like you can go wrong with any of these colors. And like I said, that trio palette is probably a good place to start if you just kind of want to test your toes in it. And if you like nothing else, I am telling you, these mica colors, I mean, not a single one of these colors has failed yet. I mean, they are just, the mica in them is brilliant. It shows up so well. It's really, really beautiful. Just really pretty. So especially if you like those shiny glittery colors, then you know, try some beam paints. Like I said, the wild salmon, we did the fiddlehead green last time. I still love this shell color, which is just kind of a white color. I mean, all the colors I got last time. This wet grizzly was a big surprise. The brown with the gold in it, and then the dreamer's gold, the glacial rivers, and the wintry night with, I thought it was kind of a pewter, but I think it's just kind of a muted gold in there, but it's super pretty. This would be a great night sky. Their beach sand, like I said, their fiddlehead green, all of these colors are just, I mean, they're micas. Like I said, you cannot beat these micas. The payoff on them is amazing. They are very saturated. They show up very well. They're just really solid colors. I did see a couple of people talk about the size on these. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure this is just, you know, a half pan basically. It may be a little less, but I know sometimes some of these are filled a little higher than others, but I don't feel like they're outrageously priced given the fact that they are hand poured and, you know, done by people, not machines. That's a big thing, and it's also very time consuming. So hopefully you liked this look at some new beam paints. We will see. Hopefully I will have some more soon, because you guys know that I want all the paints, and I apparently have no self-restraint. So hope you enjoyed this swatching, and hope some of this inspires you to check out beam paints and to maybe paint your own stuff, and have fun. Good luck, and just paint.